Welcome to the Health Coach Nation podcast. I'm your host, Hailey Rowe, and I help you get clients consistently, market your standout offers, build your business foundations like your messaging, your niche, your offer, and I help you build a sustainable, profitable coaching business that works with your schedule. And I'm so excited to dive into the show. Here we go. Guess what? I'm so excited to announce that my free private training sharing how to book paying clients consistently without posting more or needing a big audience is now live for an encore. You can check it out at haileyrowe.com/training. You get to learn more about the inner circle. You get to learn the behind the scenes of what I share with my clients and learn how you can get your next clients without needing to obsess with stressful launches, annoying tech, all that kind of stuff. So check it out and can't wait to hear how it goes for you.
Do you need a coaching certification? Because I talk with a lot of coaches who are thinking about getting a certification or thinking about getting another certification or have a certification but haven't used it. And so there's a lot of questions we need to ask ourselves when it comes to seeing if a certification program is right for you and if you need it and all of that kind of stuff. So the first thing I will share is I personally have gotten many certifications, so I could speak from experience when, I talk with coaches who feel like, I just really want to get another cert, or I really want to learn this. Like, I am very hungry for learning. I love learning and I love getting certifications. But here's the thing. You can't use certifications against yourself like a lot of coaches are doing, meaning they're using it to think they're not good enough until they get the next certification. They're using it to not start their business, not start actually doing what they signed up to do, which is coach people and, make an income doing it, hopefully, if that's your goal, and help people because they think they're not good enough yet and they just need that extra lesson. They need that extra certification. So for me personally, in 2010, I got my first certification and I loved it and I wanted to get more naturally. And so I did. I got, one that was fitness related. I got one that was nutrition related. And then I was like, you know what? I actually want to get a life coaching certification because I want to help people with habits and behavioral change. And I love business. So I didn't get a certification in business, but I got a bachelor's degree in business and was like, okay, I'm going to learn that. And so I just wanted to combine my passions of personal development and business, and I wasn't quite sure how I wanted it to take shape. And what was filling that space for me at the time, rather than figuring it out and, trying to start a business, was just getting more certifications till I figured it out. And so I did, and I got my bachelor's and I got my certs and all that stuff. And then I realized I didn't know what to do next. I was like, okay, how do I just be a full-time coach? And so I got some jobs in business development and marketing first because I was like, I want to get some more business experience. And I know I love business. And then I ended up getting let go from one of the companies that I worked for. The whole team got let go and didn't expect it. They had some challenges. And so I was like, okay, now it's time for me to really start coaching. And I regretted not getting myself the working. Are you guys there? Okay, we're back. We had a bad connection. But anyways, I finally took that as my sign in 2017, okay, it's time to really coach. And so, during that whole period of getting certifications and all that, I got a lot of practice coaching people. I loved it. We did a lot of peer coaching in my certifications, and then I did some practice coaching with people I knew and all that kind of stuff. But in 2017, I was like, okay, it's really time to start using my certifications. And this is where most coaches get stuck. They're like, okay, I want to use it, but how? How do I get clients? And they didn't think about this stage that much, meaning they didn't really reserve any cash flow to invest in their business. They didn't really think about, what's going to be my message and my mission as a coach and how am I going to stand out. And some coach programs, which is great nowadays, they do teach you some things about business, but a lot of times it's more up to you at that stage to start to learn how to grow business and market yourself with current strategies and things like that. So here are the reasons to get a certification, and here are the reasons to maybe not get a certification. So the first thing is, if you want to work with people's bodies, or you want to work with, blood work, or you want to work with, special science-backed nutrition stuff or whatever, I would say it's important to get some kind of certification. And it doesn't have to be an elaborate, huge one. It doesn't have to be you get 5 certifications, but I would say it's important to get something where you feel confident in what you're actually teaching and embodying and all that kind of stuff. Now, when it comes to the second part of what a certification is even for, the second part of what a certification is for is to get practice coaching and to learn like the principles of coaching, which is like holding space for people, asking good questions, like all that kind of stuff. And so with that, I would say you can get that practice by peer coaching, like meaning just by coaching friends and family, or by getting practice people to coach or whatever, and getting feedback from people. And a lot of people try to avoid that, or, certifications kind of force you to do that, because you usually have to turn in like practice sessions, or you have to practice coach one of their people who allow you to get the certification or whatever. And so for that reason, I think certifications are really good, because they require you to get that practice in. But you could get practice in by yourself if you feel like you really want to get the skill set. And you can get feedback from people by asking for it. And what a lot of people do is avoid that at all costs, because they're like, I don't want to hear what they're going to have to say. It's scary. I don't want to be rejected. I just want to start and be really, really good right off the bat. And that's just not how it works. You don't get to skip that phase of kind of being bad at coaching and having to hear feedback and all the things. So my piece of advice is, don't get a certification just because you think you're not enough, without it. Because you can get practice and experience by coaching yourself through stuff, by coaching peers through stuff, by coaching colleagues and getting feedback and all that kind of stuff. And then the third thing is, if you are using it against yourself, meaning you're using it to feel like, okay, I got one and now I'm still not enough, that's another reason why a certification is not going to change you or be the answer. Because you're always going to feel not good enough if that's a belief you hold about yourself. So instead, we need to work on that. And we need to work on, yes, you might need some experience, or you might run a test program where it's a reduced rate and you're getting practice and you're helping people as much as you can and all that. So logistically, we can work on that, but internally, we have to ask yourself, why do you feel like you're not enough? And knowing that you're always going to have to start somewhere, and it's okay, and you don't need to label yourself as a newbie and that you're not enough and that you're so bad. Like, just kind of understanding that it's part of the job to be new at something in the beginning, and you might stink, and that's okay. But getting out in the arena, and actually, as Brene Brown says, getting out in the arena and coaching people is how you get better. And hearing feedback and not making it mean anything negative internally about you as a person, but just taking it in and learning from it is how you get better. So my key recommendation here is, number one, once you get a certification, go out and coach people, make your investment back from that before you decide if you're going to get 12 other certifications. Like for me personally, I have a rule where if I'm going to get one, I got to use it and, make my investment back at least. And then I can decide if I want to reinvest in a new certification or new skill set. And I'm all for it. But make sure you're not just learning to feel good, meaning a lot of times we just skip the actual business part, or getting clients or coaching people, getting uncomfortable and doing it. And we spend all of our time learning and consuming and just thinking that that's what we need. And learning is great, but when you're not using it, you haven't really learned it. So my key when I work with clients in the Zero to Hero Coach Inner Circle is we're getting out there. They're using what they're learning. They're marketing themselves. And so my key recommendation for you is to keep some of that reserve for actually getting out there. Like, same thing with finances. A lot of times people just spend every cent they have on their certification program. And then when it's time to start their business, there's nothing left. So just consider that when you're trying to make a decision about, do I need a certification and what kind of certification to get? And, just know that after you get the certification, it's just the start. That's like you get your college degree and now it's time to get a job, right? So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts. And as far as certifications go, I know a lot of great ones. I've worked with a lot of clients from different certification programs and they've loved them. So if you ever need recommendations about what kind of certification to get based on what you're interested in, feel free to reach out. I have a certification at the Human Potential Institute. That was one of my favorite ones because that was about like life coaching and behavioral change and the skill and art of coaching. And then I have some more niche related like certifications as well. So feel free to reach out. I would love to share any tips and advice, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this podcast. And if it's really helpful for you, I'd really appreciate if you share it and or leave a written podcast review. This tells the podcast sites that our show is useful and it will be promoted to more people that way. Thanks again.